towards the semantic web trend?
Excellent question. Justin, you want to handle that one?
Yeah, I have a little bit of information about that. So about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago even, we had some discussions amongst ourselves about this new concept of the semantic web and how we could actually take advantage of that, not only in the user experience, but also as a means of demonstrating the semantic web technology that's baked into Oracle database, where it's literally a feature. So we thought, well, how about if we look into engaging with a partner who works more on the with the front-end technology, who can sit on top of Oracle database and actually take our content that we're publishing in regular non-semantic web mode and semanticize it, or however you want to call it. So what we ended up with was this proof of concept website that's still out there today called OTN Semantic Web at otnsemanticweb.oracle.com. And what that site is doing essentially is it's consuming public RSS feeds that we're making available through our site as the regular course of business, and sort of creating essentially what, in a way, it's a mashup. It gives you an aggregated view of all content published across OTN and Oracle.com, whether it's a podcast or video or a blog posting or a discussion forum thread or a technical article or what have you. And not only that, but of course, by virtue of the power of the technology, the ability to do what's sort of called a guided search in a way. So with regular search, you sort of have to be really good with your keywords, and the search is only as good as the keyword in a lot of cases. But with this technology, you don't really need to know the keywords because the system actually supplies all the keywords you could ever hope to know. So you're sort of, in a way, you're flying through the content on the site. You just keep clicking through the links and you get new choices the deeper you click through. So it's really interesting technology. I mean, I wouldn't call it necessarily community-oriented or something that encourages transparency, but it is sort of an interesting aspect of user experience that I think could actually make that process more available and exposed to people in a way. It's more a technology issue versus a people issue, which is something we'll probably get to in terms of talking about Web 2.0, and we'll spend a lot of time talking about technology today, but it's really not about technology. I used to actually spend a lot of time thinking about business intelligence in a former career. Business intelligence is the same way. I mean, when you start off engaged in a business intelligence project, if you think of it as a technology problem, you're probably going to fail because you're going to put a very expensive piece of technology out there, you're going to throw it over the firewall and expect your users to actually get some sort of business value out of it. But that's not the way it works. Business intelligence, just like Web 2.0, it's a people issue, it's a process issue, it's a mindset. It's not just about technology.
Great, thank you. Want to add to that?
Yeah, so something that I'm looking at, it's not me that I'm looking at. I see the semantic web really moving into aggregation of multiple content. And I think what's very interesting from my perspective, I don't know if we're ever going to get to it, but our website seems to be very us-centric. But it would be interesting when you post an article to actually pull in what the blogosphere is saying, right? And pull in what other discussion forums are talking about this topic. So that way would be just another way for us to interact with the overall community. Post an article, you're talking about a release of 10G. But wouldn't it be interesting right away on that page somehow to see, oh, here's the top 5 bloggers that are talking about the topic. So you're seeing right away the critique of the product, and we don't even have to create that content. So the semantic web, I think, is moving into an aggregation of all the relevant content to a specific topic. And we are definitely looking at that.
Great question. Thank you so much. So I think it's safe to say that moving a multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation toward openness is a work in progress. I'd love to hear some ahas that you've had along the way. What are some of the learnings as you've moved toward an open Oracle?
Well, I think one of them is probably the one I alluded to in your first question. Maybe I'm cheating a little bit here, which is that Oracle sort of has a tradition of doing this, and what we have an opportunity now with these new technologies and mindsets that are available to us now, it actually just lets us do that much more effectively and on a much wider basis. And then the other one would be, again, the fact that technology is really sort of a side issue here. I mean, yes, it's an enabler. Obviously, it's very, very important. But again, you can't throw, for example, you're not going to create a community simply by making a blogging platform available. There's a lot more to it than that. I mean, it's a means to an end. The whole thing it's a journey. It's not a destination. And that's something we're learning, because we're discovering new applications of this mindset every day within the company. And I think you guys are seeing a lot of that here at the show, actually. And one thing that Marius had a lot to do with was our unconference. I don't know, has anybody here seen or heard about the unconference happening here? So for those who have, an unconference essentially turns the traditional model of the conference agenda on its head. So instead of we, the conference organizers, telling you what you're going to hear about and when and where, in an unconference, that whole process is actually in your hands. So if you go to the OTN Lounge on Moscone West on the 3rd floor, you'll see a couple whiteboards up there. You can sign up for a time and a place, put a sticky note on the grid, and present on whatever subject that interests you. And then we'll see if people show up. That's actually beside the point. So again, that's an issue that it's got nothing to do with technology whatsoever. I mean, we're talking about a whiteboard here. That's the extent of our technology. But what's more communicated or transparent in Web 2.0 than that? Nothing.
Very good. Marius.
So what I was surprised to see at Oracle is about probably like 3 to 4 months ago, we started, or a person, Tim, which is sitting right over there that works for me, we came up with the idea of saying, hey, this is a cool topic, but everybody's working in silos, and we have this big hierarchy at Oracle, with managers, directors, CEOs, whatever they are, and how do they all communicate? And there were some tools that started to become available to us, like Pulse Connect, which lets us now start having small social networks in Oracle, but it still was not enough. So we said, hey, what if we post an internal blog that we're going to host a Lunch 2.0, which means free pizza, but come by and let's talk about 2.0. And what was amazing is that within the first day, I had an email from a VP that was willing to pay for everything, for the food. Within a week, we started to have the same concept replicated in the UK and other people that are offering to do it in different parts of the world. And basically what it was like, hey, we offer free lunch and start networking. And at my last internal lunch that I had, we had like 60 people show up. So that's 60 people that just want to get to know other people in the company and talk about what tools can we build or how can we improve the communication of our projects so we are successful together. So this 2.0 phenomenon is not only about building products, but actually bringing people from different organizations together and working on a project and for the greater good. And crowdsourcing comes to mind now, and other tools that exist out there. And I think that the next couple of years is going to be very interesting because the organizations are changing. It's not anymore the silos. All the projects are more, you work with different organizations at the same time to achieve something that is cool.